Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Dwayne Huff, Selling with Influence and author of the book, Write Your Own Ticket. I'm so glad you're here. Let's find out if you're in the right place. Chances are, if you found this channel, it's because you were doing some research or landed on this because of sales. Maybe you were looking for cold calling strategies. Maybe you were looking for prospecting strategies, sales methodology, whatever it is that landed you here. We are going to talk about that, but there's so much more. As you can see back here, this isn't your typical environment. This is my tiki bar, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But I want to share some of the things that we're going to be covering here on this channel and share a little bit about myself so you'll kind of know the backstory, where I've been, the mistakes I've made, the pivot I made to be able to be more effective in my personal career, but also the things that I do to have fun, because I believe if you like this vibe, whether it's tiki bars or beaches or traveling or food and cocktails and beverages, cigars, whatever the case might be, you're going to like this channel, because I'm going to dive deep into some of the things that are professional that I'm going to go through here in a second, but I'm going to share some things with you about how I like to have fun, and hopefully it resonates. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'll share some stories with you. I'd like to hear about yours. Drop them in the comments. But let me jump in and share with you, other than selling or sales, what we're going to talk about. So the first one, obviously, that goes with sales, as you can see right here from on the right screen, is influence. Now, what do I mean by that? Influence, from a sense that all opportunity in our personal and our professional life comes from the influence or influencing other people. And if we break that apart, it simply means the way that we connect, communicate, sell, lead, negotiate, all ties up into influence. The story about that brand is I started a corporate sales training company after 14 years of being in sales. I launched out on my own, started my own corporate training brand, went out and started teaching all of those pieces of influence. That was the first business that I started, and then I started another one where it was really strictly focused on sales training and performance coaching, which also led me into leading or selling sales leadership, working with sales leaders, if you will. And that stems all the way back to when I was 15 years old. I was a 9-time student leader and a 6-time drum major. So all these pieces kind of fell into place. And one of my favorite sayings about influence is that John Maxwell, who's the #1 leadership authority in the entire world, I had a conversation with him one-on-one for about 5 minutes, and he always says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And I asked him, I said, what does that mean? He says influence is whenever we find out what the people we're working with in our personal and professional lives and business, finding out what it is they already value and then helping them get it or helping them get more of it. And when we do that, we influence them, and therefore we lead them. So whenever I started my first corporate training brand, I called it Influence Seminars. And again, it evolved into my training, my sales training and coaching brand called Selling with Influence. And then I started a leadership brand going back to my student leadership days and helping and serving there. And then with some of the training clients that I was working with, I found that many of them needed a business coach and a business consultant. And I had some friends who happened to actually do that. And so I mentored with them, or they mentored me, and then that brand evolved. So I'm going to talk about influence, like you see right here. I'm going to talk, and I'm spoiler alert here, I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship and business, and I'm also going to talk about personal development, motivation, but I'm going to talk about the fun stuff too. So entrepreneurship, like I said, is one of them. Food and cocktails. I absolutely, I mean, if you could see down here at the bottom, I save a lot of the bottles that we go through with my friends and family here at the Tiki Bar, because some of them just look really cool and they make great decorations. But food. I'm from South Louisiana. We absolutely love our food. And I married a wife. I'm half Italian, half Cajun, so is she. And so, as you can imagine, we come from families that make great food. And when we travel, we love to eat. We love to have great cocktails. I'll get into that on this page. But another thing is beaches and travel. We love to be in the Caribbean. We love Pensacola Beach. We love Key West. We really love anywhere tropic where there's a beach. So that will come out in this, and probably share some of the times when we travel. Tiki bars and cocktails. I had a friend of mine tell me one day, we're sitting in the backyard right over there. I got a pool right behind here. And he says, man, you need a tiki bar. I said, yes, I do. The next year, in March, we started building out this tiki bar. That was 2018. and it's been a source of all kind of fun and entertainment and gatherings here. So that becomes part of the things I'll share on this page. And like I said, mindset, motivation, personal development. This is where I started. At 15 years old, when I became a student leader, I started devouring books, and back then tapes and CDs and videos on personal development and what made people effective in their personal and professional life, and how they won in life and business. And one of my mentors at that point was Tony Robbins, right? I devoured Tony's stuff, and it really set the tone. I think about 19 years old, I started devouring his stuff. But this leadership journey led me to wanting to be a professional speaker, because the first leadership speaker I saw, I'm like, that dude's running his mouth, drawing pictures, and they're paying him. I think I just found my path, right? And that led me to this motivation and this mindset and this personal development, because I wanted to go back and give the experience that I had gotten from that experience. And so I started to listen to great speakers. About 2006, I launched out, started doing speaking at high schools and colleges, and even keynote presentations at corporations and conferences and things of that nature. So that's kind of how this all evolved. But then I wanted to, I caught the entrepreneurial spirit when I was about 21 years old and dabbled in it. But it wasn't until about 32 years old when I said, this is what I want to do. I was in the corporate space for 14 years, but I was like, man, I've got to do something different. I can serve the world at a much higher level, but I've got to do it out on my own. So after 14 years of sales, I stepped out on my own, one client, 6 months of work, and that turned into a 2.5-year relationship. And for, since 2009, I've been out on my own, doing my own thing. COVID was a little rough on me, and honestly, I had to restart. 2020 was absolutely rough. Made almost no money. It was horrible. But in 2021, things started to come back around and swing around. But I'm like, you know what? I need to see if I can find a company that values the sales training and performance coaching that I offer. I went through a lot of companies. I went through a lot of interviews. Didn't think it was going to happen, but I was tired of spinning the plates and trying to rebirth and reinvent and come back from 2020. And I landed at a company who's just, it's been absolutely amazing. I literally get paid to run my mouth, draw pictures, and be a therapist, right? And help people close sales more effectively. So that's the thrust and the root. That's why you're at a channel called Selling with Influence. But it gets really boring if I just start talking about selling skills, discovery questions, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to mix it up. We're going to have fun. I'm going to keep this vibe going. Sometimes I'll be in front of my whiteboard, but this is a rebranding for me. I spent the last 15 years in the corporate space being on site, doing virtual training, dressed up in a suit and tie, and it's just not me anymore, right? So my model in my business has shifted. I serve sales professionals, sales leaders, business people or business owners and entrepreneurs. And rather than, I still do keynotes from time to time, and I still do on-site trainings, but the new direction and the way that I serve my clients now is that I've got some online resources, and we also do weekend retreats. Sometimes we'll do them virtually, sometimes we'll do them in Key West and in New Orleans or in Pensacola Beach, right? Because I believe what I've seen over the years is that when people are still in their environment, you can have the best training in the world. You can have the best workshops or masterminds in the world, but there's something about still being in their place that they just can't let go and fully immerse. And so I said, you know what? It's time to start going to the beach. It's time to start going to Key West. Time to start going to New Orleans, getting them out of their environment and immerse them in 3 full day events, and then support them throughout the year. So that's the rebrand and the rebuild that I'm doing, and I hope you'll take this journey with me. Listen, whether it's food, whether it's travel, whether it's tiki's and cocktails or beach bars, personal development, whatever it is, it's all going to be right here because it's been my journey, and I know all those pieces go into a rounded, well-balanced experience. And I would say this, if you've got friends or family who are not salespeople or business owners or entrepreneurs, they may or may not like this, but even if it's not about selling, though I say everybody needs to learn how to influence and sell, because again, all opportunity comes through other people, and we have to be able to influence them. And many people say, I'm not a salesperson. And what they're saying is, I don't want to give the experience where I've had somebody who doesn't know what they're doing try to pitch and sell me. And I always like to say, nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to buy stuff. So I'm all about empowering people to buy. My sales methodology, selling with influence, it's a little different. It's a lot different, really. I don't believe in the 1980s, 1990s, hard close, pushy, aggressive, slimy, all that kind of stuff. What I believe in is that if we can connect with somebody who we can potentially serve, and we just have a conversation and understand their world and help them to walk through a path of self-discovery where they have a light bulb moment that says, wow, I'm here, I should be here, whether that's moving away from pain or moving towards pleasure, and help them to see and develop a clear path forward, then I can find what they truly value and help them get it, or help them get more of it. And I can't, I point them in the right direction, I influence them, therefore I lead them to making the best decision for them. And things that go into that are communication, the ability to sell, the ability to lead, negotiate, but also to help them get the right mindset to continue to develop themselves personally and professionally. But I like to have fun doing it, right? And I guess on the videos, every once in a while, I'll have a cigar or a cocktail. So that's coming. And if you like those, hit me with your recommendations. And I'll share some of mine with you. But I'm glad you're here. I hope that serves. I just wanted you to know the vibe you were getting into and the things that we're going to be covering, so you can make a decision if this is the place that you want to be. There's tons of videos down here. I'm growing this page. I don't know when you're seeing it, how many subscribers I have, but everybody starts from somewhere. You're no different. So take this journey with me. I'm excited to have you here. If there's anything I can do to serve you, do not hesitate to reach out. There's information below here to get in touch with me. And let me know what it is in your personal and your professional life. Where are you? Where are you trying to get? And maybe I can help you on that journey. If you'd like some free sales training or sales and leadership training, there's some resources down here that you can click on. There's free training. You can grab it. If you're a sales leader or a business owner or CEO and you have a sales team and you need my help, reach out to me. We can talk about it. But stay tuned. I'll share some stories. I'll share some cocktails. I'll share some food, and we'll have a lot of fun together. And I'm so glad to have you here. If you feel like this is a place for you, hang out. Feel free to hit subscribe, share it with somebody else that might benefit, and let's talk soon.